I'm Shauna from Infinity Readings, and this is the reading for the Aquarian female in a coupled relationship for the winter 2018 into 2019. Hey guys, I wanted to take a minute here just to kind of acknowledge what I've done for this winter season. I managed to change up a few things. I vamped the logo a little bit. I actually got Aaron at Active Dynamics here. He has managed to make my intro for me, so I'm very thankful for that. He did a great job. I couldn't have done it. So thanks, Aaron, for that. I appreciate it immensely. And also to Ikson for my theme music. It's beautiful, upbeat, happy tunes. I can't get enough. I am now going to his page because it's just that great. It's all good gravy stuff. So I couldn't have revamped my winter season without these dudes around me. So I'm lucky enough to have them in my corner. So thanks, guys. Ikson, great work. Aaron, thanks again. Great work. So take care, guys. Enjoy your season. And Ikson, if you ever want a reading, just hit me up, man. Just email me. I will kick in and we'll set something up. In the meantime, take care. Have fun, you guys, and enjoy the readings. Hey, guys. Okay, so I have 3 cards that I use from a feminine deck to overview the general energies for the Aquarian female. And then we dip into 5 different tarot decks here to go over the love and sex part of the reading. Now, yeah, see if we can illuminate some blocks that are here, okay? And get you past them and on your way. Acknowledging them is the first step. Okay, so the first card we get for the Aquarius female in a coupled relationship is Temptation. That's the general energy here, and it's going to cover the whole reading. So there is something that she may be tempted by, okay? To the left, we get Prosperity. Prosperity is, I feel, an energy that wants to come through to her, and that may be what is tempting her so highly, okay? Now, on top of that, we get Fear. So, yeah. You know what? We'll see where that's self-explanatory. There's some fear in dealing with some of this stuff, and she may be tempted in an area that is highly fearful. But there's prosperity looming no less. So we'll see where that sits here. It's kind of, yeah. I'll go over it again at the end of the reading and tie it all up, okay? So I have 5 rows of 4 cards. We're going to go horizontally, then vertically, and rip this thing apart and see if we can illuminate all of this stuff going on with her. So as she is in the coupled relationship, the first card she gets in her immediate energy here is the 3 of Cups. 3 of Cups is good, celebratory vibe. She is happy, and she's with happy people, and people that she is happy to be with, and they are happy to be with her. So everything is joyful and connected socially, I feel. So that is good. I feel like, you know, not so much focusing maybe on the relationship, but in the couple, she's very much social and happy with everything around her, okay? Now, the next card she gets is the Hierophant, and the Hierophant is, you know, about traditional ways of being. It is kind of that symbol of marriage or something of a higher value upon this relationship. I'm going to leave it at that. Next card, 17, the Star. And that's about hopes and dreams and wishes. So we may be in our head a little bit and thinking about that forward. And that may be attached to the Hierophant in some way, like we are dreaming that if we are not married in this relationship that we have, we are wanting to be married and dreaming about that or hoping and praying for that. And the next card we get to end out that row is the 4 of Pentacles. And the 4 of Pentacles is, in this deck, I attribute it to mean a surprise that we stumble upon that is very pleasant. In here, I feel like this girl has come across a key somehow, or has opened the treasure without the key, whatever. And there's all these gold coins. It's like, oh, wow, look at this. It's kind of like that kind of a feeling. There's something going on here that is highly expected, okay? So we're going to move a little deeper here. It's pretty basic. Into the Dreamer's Tarot, on the Three of Cups, we get the Two of Cups, which is interesting because that really brings in the partner to all the celebrations here. I was like, well, you know, being out and social. But they're going, no, as a couple, they go out and socialize and they have fun with other couples, and it's all good and great and gravy. And there's a deep, Two of Cups symbolizes a deep connection of a mind, spirit, and body, right? It's all in there. Like, emotionally, these two are connected. And the Three of Cups, you know, to expand that energy is like they go and they pass that out. You know, they're raising the vibration here. They're happy within the coupled relationship, and they're going out and being happy with other happy couples, that kind of thing. Socializing and being amongst, okay? So the Hierophant, on top of that, we get the Wheel of Fortune. So that's interesting. So it may have something to do with this connection having a fateful end in a marriage. I'm saying end in a marriage, but this hoping and wishing and dreaming may be fateful. You know, we may have a couple here that is fated to get together and marry, though it may not have happened yet. So on this star, we get the Four of Swords, and the Four of Swords is about resting, to recoup, to recharge. There's something we need rest from. We got to watch. Maybe there's some younger couples going out and celebrating a little too much, and we're not really reviving ourselves before we hit the next weekend, right? So I feel like that's part of it, but also a need to do that within the relationship. Give ourselves some rest independently from each other, because we may be overdoing that, okay? Now, over the Four of Pentacles, we get the Ace of Swords. So that's about truth, clarity, and victory coming forth here. Illuminating something. This Ace of Swords is like, we're going to brighten things up. And not only that, the Four of Pentacles really emulates that as well in the picture. So there's something here being illuminated to the couple. And they may be going out and socializing and on a happy vibe, which is all great and wonderful, but they're missing something here. So they need to rest in order to see it come forth. Okay, it's like a gift from the universe, or gift coming at them, but they're really socially booked, so we're not seeing it. We're not absorbing it, okay? So the Lenormand, I use those to cut through into the romance energies. So I use a roll of that. The first card I get for that under the Two of Cups, is the Birch and the Broom. And that is a symbol of, oh man, it's a symbol of strife, you know, and conflict and arguments and quarrels, okay? It's like, you know, is where the nun walks by and smacks your fingers. It's like that. Reprimand in the relationship. So we may have some arguing going on because of our social life, or just bickering within the relationship here. But the 11 is kind of harsh, okay? But here we go. On the Wheel of Fortune, we have 31, which is the Sun. So it kind of makes the Birch Broom kind of a lot less harsh, okay? I was going to say it is harsh, but now the Sun's here. It kind of lightens it up. So there's some arguing and some chastising that's going on here, okay? Between the couple. And it may be because we're going out, I don't know, okay? And it may be because indulging too much and getting too worn out, and then not thinking clearly, and then we get in quarrels in that way, and that may be part of that, okay? So on the Four of Swords with the rest and relaxation, we have 13, which is the Child. And that is about imagination and creation and naivety as well. Being naive. Yeah. There is something that they are naive to within the relationship. And I feel like the socializing is kind of disguising that for them, okay? There's a sense here that there's something going on in the relationship that's not conducive to their way forward, but neither one of them are picking up on it, okay? And the child here is, it's like, yeah, it's going over the head. You know, you talk about things and children don't quite get it, don't quite understand because they don't know. And it's kind of like that sense I get. And the Four Swords is really highlighted here. Like, we need to rest. And maybe even take a break. I don't know. But we need to rest from this, even though it's a highly charged union here. There's stuff going on that we need to be illuminated too. Some surprises here, okay? On the Ace of Swords, which is the truth and clarity and these things that we need to be illuminated, we have 19, which is about government, law, could be something legal. Also could have to do with boundaries, and I feel that's more the case in this situation, is talking about boundaries within the relationship. So you got to be careful. That may be adding to the squabbling. Are we going out and flirting and then having a little bickering matches when we get home because we're a little too toasted to realize that this might offend the partner? I don't know what's going on here. The child can also symbolize a little bit of immaturity in that way. But I feel like it's less an immaturity and more an overlooking. Like, if we actually took the time to do this, we're getting caught up and flung by people that were around and celebrations that are going on and things that are getting whirlwind. And both of them are going. So it's not like one's staying at home, the other one's going out. It's not that way. They're both going out and they're getting into trouble in that way because of that. So they need to rest and spend some time on the down low kind of feel. Okay, so I'm going to move into the romantic side here and see what comes out. On the Birch Broom, which is the arguments and such, which may not be as bad as intended in the natural card because of the Sun, we have the Romantic Tarot sitting there, and that card is there because I assign it when they want to lay a card down where it's none of your business card. That's that card. We have some tricks up our sleeve and we want to play out, and they need to play out in a natural manner, because if we knew about them, there might be some sabotage that happens here. Can't take the chance that that might happen, okay? Because it's very detrimental to their path forward. So that's this card. So there's some secrets here that the universe is holding back because they need to, in order to go in the right way here. So under the Sun, we have 17, which is the compass. And the compass is we need to find direction within this relationship, because the shadow is like these two people holding hands, and it makes me think we're in shadow here. We used to be closer than we are, so we're kind of losing our, how do you say, our North Star. We're not as close as we used to be. Let's put it that way. So we need to find the direction in the relationship so we can pick it and go in that way, right? So it's on the stars, so it's highly aspected here in the wheel and marriage. So there's a lot of heavy cards here: the Hierophant, the wheel, the Sun, and then the direction. So yeah, and then there's some stuff here that's not even said. So when we go into the child and the imagination and the naivety that happens here, we get the King of Coins, or sorry, the Knight of Coins. And the Knight of Coins is usually a pretty stable dude. He's out there trying to make a living. He's got a good reign on that. He has his finances in order, getting all the rest of his ducks in a row. Now, the Aquarius may come across a man like this, or this may be her partner. I feel like it's her partner. And so he has kind of really got things in order, but I feel like there's a direction here, maybe not knowing. One person may not know exactly what they want to do in this relationship, okay? Now, as we go on the Tower from 19 Lenormand, we get 4 of Swords, and the 4 of Swords is about, that's doing the dance, right? We're in a relationship, we're going la-da-da, it's kind of mundane, and it may be coming to a boring spot or a low ebb here where it's not much excitement. And it seems like, you know, we have a lot of excitement and then we're kind of, things slow down, and that might be kind of like itchy feet. Like we got to get something stirred up here because it's getting a little boring. That's the sense I'm getting. And I don't know if it's from the Aquarius female. I think it's from the Aquarius female. She likes to keep things active and get moving. Capricorn is a little more grounding. He wants to stay in one spot and just leave me be. But he likes going out, especially Taurus males will, if for Earth, they like going out and socializing. They may not be all verbal and stuff, but they like kind of sitting around watching things happen, right? So, yeah. 4 is doing the dance and kind of, you know, everything's mundane, nothing exciting. We're there, you know, we're square, and that's about it. And then that's kind of the right corner. So now we'll go into the sex side and see what we can pull out from there. Now, on top of that mystery card from the romance deck, we get the 5 of Pentacles. And the 5 of Pentacles is about whining and dining and playing the violin on the porch there in front of a blue sky. Like, he is pulling out all the stops, and there's a rose garden behind her, and then they're, you know, they're playing the affection game, right? So all of that's happening. That signifies a good romantic relationship, but also sexual needs are being met in the most dreamy of ways. Okay. So under the sun and the compass is the 8 of Swords. So this puts a tint on it, but we get a sun here and a wheel that kind of lightens things. But nonetheless, we have the 8 of Swords here, and the 8 of Swords really signifies that somebody is sneaking or being sneaky in a relationship. Now, there's 2 people here being intimate and someone in the background. This leads me to believe, because there's a green cape here, I'm using every little detail. This leads me to believe that either someone wants to infringe on the relationship, someone's jealous of the relationship, some outsider is influencing this couple's relationship, okay? That's all I'm going to say about that until I find the next card. Now, on the Knight of Coins, we get the Empress, and the Empress is the epitome of all the feminine sexual wilds you can get into one place. She's got it. The Empress is really about all of that energy going forward. Fertile, no less, but nonetheless. And I feel like that's the partner. That's how he's looking upon you. He sees you as the ultimate, and this is what I got, and I'm great, and she's great, and it's all wonderful, and she's fertile, and that's the ultimate woman that he wants, the feminine ideal, and that's what it is right there. So she's fertile, she's sexual, and she's very potent in her way with men, right? Men seem to gravitate to her because she has all this compassion and softness, and it's just a how you say, a draw for these men. They just get drawn in by that. So that is how her partner sees her, the earth sign sees her. Now, under the 4 of Swords, we get the Knight of Pentacles again. So it seems like what's going on here, there's, other than somebody outside of the relationship looking in, which I feel it doesn't really have any weight to grasp anything here with the cards around, though there is one card here that is kind of a mystery card. I still don't feel. I feel like there's squabbling here. There may be, like I said, an admirer, and then when we go out in public, this guy flirts, and then she doesn't set a high enough a boundary by the partner, so then this creates drama. This could be happening as well. But nonetheless, these guys, these two get together, the Aquarius female and her partner, this earth sign, they get together in the bedroom, and it's all good because he's very highly attracted to her on an intimate level, and she is attracted to him, and he works hard to keep that up. And at the end here, because what's going on here is we have that, you know, doing the dance card, which is kind of like, oh, it's getting boring and stale. Well, this man's going to come in here. I'm going to spoil some of these people's surprise. But it seems like this man's going to come in here and make an offer. Offer of what? It may be that offer of marriage. This woman is really, truly yearning to hear and, you know, is dreaming of having, okay, with this man. And it may even be the base of some of the arguments. You know, we're feeling like, is this going to go anywhere, or are we going to get locked in, whatever. So I feel like the Hierophant looming in the beginning here is just a symbol of what she wants. And in the end, the Knight of Pentacles comes forth here. He's still a knight, no less, so he's got some growing up to do. But he's got his ducks in a row, and he's going to be lining them up in her direction. And the pair is just a symbol of the offer he's going to make forward to deepen the connection. So it's really good. I mean, every relationship has its ups and downs, so it'd be weird if it was all perfect, right? Because then it's like, whoa, when's the shoe going to drop, right? So it seems like in this way, there's the truthfulness coming forth. And I feel like the law here may be like, let's make it legal. You know, the 19, the tower on this left side is like, let's make it legal. So, yeah, that is from right to left. Now I'm going to go up to down, and we'll break it apart again, and then I'll review. Now, the Three of Cups here is about the celebrating and the happiness and all that they do and go out socially as a couple. And they're going, this is as a couple. It's both or no, or none. You know, they'll either stay home and cuddle, or they'll go out as a couple and they'll enjoy themselves. And that's the way they do it. So the Three of Cups then on the Two of Cups, just stating that, yeah, we have fun and we go out and we celebrate with friends and they're happy, we're happy. And the Two of Cups is saying, and we are united on a lot of levels, emotionally, mentally, though that's signified by the Two of Cups. A high depth of attraction here. Then the 11, the Birch Broom, saying, yeah, well, the high attraction comes with struggles, strife, and, you know, conflict. And that's just part of being in a relationship. Then on top of that, we have the Romance Tarot, which is the universe saying, yeah, well, having to do with the squabbles, we'll just leave that to a mystery, because there are some things here that need to be worked out. Nonetheless, it's none of your business. But on the sex side, we can say that this man is highly attracted, and they both come forth from true heart and express that in ways on the physical plane. So the second row, we get the Hierophant, and that's the marriage looming. And I feel like this is what the Aquarian female is in search, or not in search of, but this is on her mind. Like, are we going to get married? Blah, blah, blah. It may not be pushed outward, but nonetheless is there looming. You know, that's what's on her mind. It's marriage, traditional way of being in the relationship. So on top of that, we have the Wheel of Fortune, which is like, yeah, things are going to change here. And from what I'm getting is from a coupled single, coupled dating, more serious scenario to either engagement or marriage, okay? And then 31 is like, yeah, it's highly aspected and things are going to move forward, and this is all great and groovy. Now, 10, 15, 17, the compass is kind of, they're kind of symbolizing here, you know, we may get pulled off in the wrong direction. Sometimes we're looking at the wrong things within our relationship to deal with. So that's really about that. And yes, having ups and downs, sure. But for the most part, it's finding the direction in the relationship that we want to go, and feeling like a need to make that understood within the partnership. Like, I have a feeling too, there's a sense here from one of the partners or both of them that they're going out too much and that's causing problems. So they're trying to find directions or things to solve that. Like, we'll stay home for a while, and that's kind of like that break card, right? But no matter, 17 is about direction and where are we going to take this, right? And I feel like that's for the partner. He is really deciding, is he going to jump or is he going to run? This is kind of an area here where they're having some squabbles, but it's making them think, do I want to keep this or do I want to go? Because I should make up my mind now, okay? And then The Eight of Swords, just simply stating that there may be some jealousy issues here that are coming upon them, but I don't think anybody's indulging outward yet. I feel like there's just someone looming here that is bringing out jealousy in each or one or both of the partners, and that is, contributing to the strife and the conflict that's going on. So as the third row here, we get the star, right? And that's the hopes and dreams the Aquarian female is wanting to take forward. It's pointed right at the Hierophant, which is a symbol of marriage. And then we get the Four Swords. This is about rest and rejuvenation. So we may be at a point here where we have taken a break here. Like we've had a situation here where we're trying to take a break. We've had arguments. I'm feeling it very light, but nonetheless here, the Four Swords, I'm getting a heavy feeling of distance. Like these two are kind of really taking a break, but I don't feel like it's like it came down to an argument or whatever. I just feel like it's a break. I feel like it's more a break in the relationship than a break in the partying. So, but it may be, both of them are on the down low period. And this just happens to be when we're going to take a break and figure out what we're going to do from here. So on top of that, we get 13, which is the child and the innocence. And they were making me feel about the naivety, about things in the relationships, like maybe overlooking red flags or not having the time to think about that. So if we are truly indulging in the Four Swords and taking that rest, that break that we need to recharge ourselves, these will come to light. And if it is not, then they won't. But there's also, a naivety to, I feel like a lot of stuff is going over the head, but no matter. That is the essence of that, is dreaming and thinking and wishing. So that could be a possibility for some, right? And then we have the Knight of Coins, which is that earth sign male. He's tossing his coins in there. He's really feels like he's stable enough financially to make this offer forward. I feel like that's in preparation. He's going to come towards this woman with an offer of some kind of stability for the both of them, And then after that, we have the Empress on the sex side, and that's really just stating his passion for this woman on a physical side of things. She epitomizes everything that I want, and that's what I know I want, and that's what I'm, And if they have some distance there, he's very clear about that. Now, in the next line, we have the Four of Pentacles, and that's that surprise thing, I got to use a better word to signify this, but it's like a discovery from the universe that we need to look at. And I felt earlier on in the reading that it may be something, it can kind of contributing to that child naivety, something in the relationship that needs to be looked at. It has not been discovered yet, but will be near the later part into spring here. And that may be, the discovery may be that these two have taken a break and they have discovered that, yes, they do want to stay together and they want to, or maybe just the male himself discovering that, like, what, I do love her and I do want to be with her and I feel that more than ever now. And, and then the absence, right, makes the heart go fonder. So maybe the Four of Pentacles is the epitome of that for them. The discovery that they do truly love each other and they do, because when they're together, they're squabbling, whatever. But when they're apart, and that rest, the Four creates, is the gift that they needed to see in order to make the decision with confidence to go forward in the relationship. Now, on the Four of Pentacles, that's the discovery, right? Yeah, I love her. She loves me. Da, da, da. This is great. Ace of Swords is the truth and the clarity that they gain once they kind of separate from each other. And like I said, I don't know to what degree, and it may be in varying degrees that this couple does this. They separate, maybe within the house, they just kind of go to their corners, or it may be that they don't even live together and they're kind of just doing their own thing, and given that time. But nonetheless, truth and clarity comes from thinking over this time of rest and relaxation away from the partner. 19, I feel like now it is about boundaries, and I feel like there's something still here that may come up in the spring yet. But nonetheless, I feel like that, because that's a card of legalities. I feel like this is the man's idea. We're going to make this legal. And that's what that is about. 19. Then on top of that is the Four Swords. And that's kind of the low tide that they've been at. You know, it's kind of getting dull and boring, and that may be the lightest vein that this is taken on the Four Swords here. Because the Four Swords is rest and relaxation, and the Four of Swords here in the romance deck is more about we're continuing to be a couple, but we're just nothing exciting going on. We're just spinning, you know. So what we get on the sex side of things, the Knight of Pentacles comes swooping in there, and he offers her a pair, you know, and the pair is, will you marry me? And, you know, they kind of live happily ever after. Or at least are on the trail to going down that road. I feel like there's a lot here that needs to be worked out, or uncovered within this couple, right? Because I get a sense that they both feel joyful around each other, and they both get a kick out of each other. But it's hard to deal with when it kind of goes low tide, right? When it's at low tide, then they're kind of like they don't know what to do. But they're realizing that they'd rather not know what to do with each other than with anybody else, right? So that's really what's going on here. And I feel like the Knight here, the male is coming forward to make that offer to her to solidify things to a degree, like, yes, will you marry me? Well, let's take this, make it legal, da da da. Okay, so that's not a bad reading. That's probably one of the better readings I've had so far, because we've had so many bust ups, and then singles that become couples, and couples that become singles, and oh man, it's just crazy. So hopefully that made sense for you and illuminated something. Because I feel like there's still a lot here undercover, because there's a lot of future for this couple that they have to, I mean, this is just square one, right? Engagement and marriage is just square one, and then we begin, right? So it's heavy duty. So to go over the overall energies here, yeah, I went horizontal then vertical. The first one we had was temptation. So that may, yeah, I don't know. Like, again, I don't feel like they split officially. I just feel like they're going through a low-key time. And, you know, thoughts are going in weird ways. Like, should I continue or should I not? I feel like this male is very highly charged in the direction he knows what he wants. He wants to continue with this. But that Eight of Swords looming there, and the temptation is like there might be someone in the midst here trying to lure the female Aquarius away from this coupled relationship. So he has to kind of think on his feet here, I think. But anyway, the temptation is looming over it. And I feel like there's a good enough bond here to crack through this, but I don't see anybody interrupting at this point. Over the winter season, I don't see it happening. So on the left, we have prosperity. And that's really the abundance that these two carry within each other. Prosperity is really about happiness and all of the great energy that these two create with each other and outward. When they go out in a social circle, they're happy. Everybody else is happy, and it's all happy, happy, joy, joy. So that's a lot of what this man is revved by. He realizes this woman makes me happy, period. I just am happy with her. So that's a good base to come from. And he's, you know, this romance card here sitting in the corner, he's working hard to impress her on a romantical kind of way. So that's good. And that too adds to the prosperity of the relationship, right? On all levels. The happiness adds to the prosperity. And then we have fear off in the corner here. And I feel like that's when we're in low tide here. And if we have some that have taken a break or a rest here, that may be where the fear sets in. It's like, well, we've come to a corner here. Are we going to continue or not? I feel like the Knight of Pentacles, it's usually his MO to be up front and discuss things. So I feel like maybe he comes forth and says, you know, I'm going to take a while, and then I'm going to come back and deal with this. I need to think. And that may create some fear for the Aquarius female, right? It's like, uh-oh, this is the beginning of the end, right? So, but I feel what happens here is he comes back and makes an offer. Now, it may be an engagement or it may not be. It may just be a moving in or some kind of solid offer that he does come through for, because this man will come through. He does not make it if he does not, he's not going to go forward in it. If it was the Knight of Wands or the Knight of Swords, then we'd have problems. The Knight of Swords, man, he'd be gone before the paper hit the floor or whatever it was that their agreement, right? He would be gone. It'd be a cloud of dust. But and the Knight of Wands, well, he would just kind of create chaos and then leave. But this guy, he's good for his word. And even though he's a knight, he's still got a ways to go to learn. But I feel like there's a good connection here that they want to go from, and they decide to do that. And I think that the woman is just, well, I think she'll handle it okay. Aquarius female seems like she'll handle it okay. However, okay. So that is the reading for the Aquarius female in a coupled relationship. A little bit of a dippity-doo, but they'll get through it, and in the end, she kind of gets what she's been dreaming about all along, which is to solidify things with this man, because they both know that this is it. This is what they want. So that's a good thing. That's one of the better readings, really. I mean, it sounds dicey a little bit, but you should see some of the others this year. It's not, for this season, it's not good. It's a lot of bust apart, but no less. Okay, so over the Christmas season, Merry Christmas, you guys. Take care, have fun, and be kind. Happy New Year, safe travels, all of that.